Good afternoon, Blair Aaronson here, the Safe Money Ninja. Today's question is, when is independent, unbiased advice really dangerous? Well, when anyone attempts to use math and science to allegedly educate you, when in reality, they're simply fooling you into believing something that is not true. Today we're going to look at a study in foolery disguised as educational and informative. Now, you've been warned that what you're about to see and learn would take a well-trained eye with lots of experience over many years. Actually, most would be fooled by this expose of mathematical smoke and mirrors. The Safe Money Ninja was mortified after viewing the recent review of the Allianz 222 fixed indexed annuity on a popular site called Annuitygator. Now, while it's understandable everyone is capable of making a mistake even at a high level of journalism, there's simply no excuse for a blatant truckload of misstatements, actually totaling over 40 intentional misrepresentations. Take your time going through this, as this is as bad as I have ever seen. The reason this is so dangerous is that time was spent preparing this mathematical illusion. Much like the tiger that disappears in Las Vegas, it's all just an illusion to make you think you have learned something of value. Now, the Safe Money Ninja does not know or care what the motivation was behind the untruths that are put forth in this review. He's only focused on getting to the bottom line facts, no matter how deep he has to dig. So let's get started, and the ninja will stop the video to reveal all the untruths as they occur. Prepare to be shocked. Let's get on with the review.
Today's independent annuity review. This is Jason from Annuitygator.com. Today we're going to be taking a close look at the Allianz 222 fixed index annuity. And it's been a few months since my last really in-depth review, so I may be a little bit rusty, but I hope you'll bear with me. Usually in these reviews it takes me about 20 to 40 minutes. I know that's a lot of time, but this is really important stuff. If you're thinking about buying this or any annuity, they are long-term investments. They come with usually penalties if you take your money out early. So it's much better that you spend an extra 20 or 30 minutes and really understand how it works and what the real return potential is, because oftentimes what the agents tell you and how it works in real life are entirely different. So what you see up in front of you right now, on the right, this is the Allianz website. So this just kind of gives us a little bit of an overview on the product. And we'll start here. And I'll kind of go through some of the main things that an agent might talk to you about if you're thinking about buying this annuity. So the name 222, the way that comes from is actually there are two ways. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, make this a little easier for people to read. You can see here it comes from the different ways that you can get sort of benefits, I suppose. So it has two different ways to get a bonus. So we'll talk about those in a little bit. Two different ways to receive income increases, and two ways to get a death benefit. So that's where the name comes from, 2, 2, and 2. Now, as far as the bonus really only applies to what they call the protected income value. And annuities like this, they have a few different features. So the industry, maybe not the whole industry, but quite a few people have been using the term hybrid annuity. And they kind of have adopted that term because it's annuities that do more than one thing. In the case of this annuity, it has a regular growth option, so a way that your money grows even if you don't take regular income or go into a nursing home. You just let it sit there for 10 years, let's say, and take your money out. So that's kind of the most basic, simple way this annuity works. It also has a way to create a guaranteed lifetime income, and that's based on this protected income value. It's in some ways simple how to calculate it. In other ways, it's a little bit tricky, and I'll actually show you exactly how I built this test so that you can see how it might work in your unique situation. The actual protected income value, the two ways it gets a bonus is, one, there's a bonus right up front on any money that you put in the first 3 years, and you can see that right here. And then also, once you decide to take income and receive this sort of lifetime income, as long as you wait at least 10 years, so we can see there's a little footnote here, and if we go down to receive the protected income value, including any bonuses and interest, you must hold your annuity in deferral for at least 10 years and begin receiving lifetime income withdrawals between the ages of 60 and 100.
Okay, so we're going to pause right here because this is the first omission of important fact. Now, while it is true and it's very clearly stated that to receive the income value or to turn on the lifetime income, you must hold the policy in deferral for 10 years. What is omitted from this brief explanation is that you can access money immediately. For example, if this was in an IRA, you can actually access up to whatever the required minimum distribution is immediately within 30 days. Otherwise, you will have to wait 366 days. So 1 year, then you can access 10% of the account value. So we want to make sure you're clear. We're never putting money in jail for 10 years. Thank you. Let's get back to the review.
It says you will not receive the premium bonus or potential interest bonuses if the contract is partially or fully surrendered. So you have to make sure that you don't do that. If traditional annuity payments are taken or if the protected income value rider is terminated. So we can kind of see there's some stipulations as far as how you get that money. There may be some ways around this, but the easy way to think about this is, hey, you need to make sure you stay committed for 10 years before taking money out.
Okay, first, untruth. We're not going to call it a lie, it's just an untruth. Once again, it's called free withdrawal. To say maybe, no, it's guaranteed. You have free withdrawal 10% of the premium immediately after 365 days. It's clearly spelled out in the brochure. So once again, the money is not in jail for 10 years as in implied here.
That's that first two ways that you get some benefit. The second two ways are the income increases. So the income increases are going to be based on partially the bonus, actually. So you get increases to your income based on the earned interest and a 50% interest bonus. So kind of like this first bonus where after 10 years, excuse me, you get a bonus to the base by which your income is calculated. You also, after even you take income, your income can go up if you just earn interest. So let's say you earn interest of 4% in a year, your income will actually go up because there's going to be an adjustment. That's 4% plus an additional 50, which would be 6%. This again is a little bit complicated. When I show the spreadsheet that shows how this is actually determined, it'll make a lot more sense. There's also a way that if you go into an eligible nursing home, hospital, or assisted living facility, you can also get a double income benefit. You can see down here there's a couple different stipulations. So it says you have to be confined to a qualified hospital, nursing facility, or assisted living facility for at least 90 days, all in a consecutive 120-day period. The confinement must occur after the first contract year and either during the contract year before the start of lifetime income withdrawals or any time thereafter. Again, some stipulations there, but it is, as the name implies, two different ways you can get an increase in income. And then there's two ways to receive a death benefit. So if you don't ever use this and it just goes on to your beneficiaries, they can either get the full accumulation value in a lump sum, or they can actually receive the full protected income value as annuity payments over 5 years. So it's important that we actually calculate, what is that protected income value to determine what the death benefit might be. If we click on this, how the product works, it then goes into a little bit more description talking about if you're saving, kind of how you can increase that protected income value. Your income payments, if you're using the guaranteed lifetime income, it's always going to be based on that protected income value. So again, I'll show you how to calculate that. It's not incredibly tricky, but unless you're pretty good with something like Microsoft Excel or pretty talented in math, it's not the easiest thing in the world to look at and calculate. But we'll show you how to do that. It then talks about what happens once you start income. So again, it's kind of going back to that 2-2-2 concept. So it's showing you once you start getting income, how your withdrawals can increase based on the interest you earn plus an additional interest bonus. So those are some additional information. If you need to get to this page, it's pretty darn simple. You just go to allianzlife.com, and when you click on their annuities, which is this tab up here in the top, you see their different products over here. The Allianz 222, so one of the reasons why I'm doing a review of this right now is this has been one of the most requested products from people who visit Annuitygator. There's a couple other Allianz products that I'll be getting to hopefully in the next couple of months, the 360 and 365i, and they all have some similarities. So when I go into those, you'll see that, again, there's some components that are similar. But they also have differences. So, depending on your situation, one may be better than the others. And the truth is, you'll see after I show the way the math calculates, there may just be better annuities altogether. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong. Allianz is a very financially strong company, and these products are selling like hotcakes, which tells me really it's because of one of two reasons. Either they're really super, super good, which again, they're okay, they're decent, they're above average, I guess I should say, kind of like a B student, we'll call it, or they pay really nice commissions to the folks who sell them. Or
Now, let's pause here for a second. I love this when Wall Street people bring up commissions paid for annuities. Really important footnote here is number one, the commission that is paid one time to the advisor on this annuity does not cost the client a penny. The commission does not invade client's principal. Now, this is unlike every other traditional investment manager or fee or investment, your registered investment advisor, where the fee is being paid annually, whether you make money or you don't make any money. Good times and bad times. So let's be clear on that.
Could be some combination of the two. So, we just want to make sure that when you're thinking about your money and what you've saved your entire life to accumulate, the last thing you want to do is get into some type of long-term commitment without understanding how it really works. And whenever we look at annuities, because they do pay commissions, we have to have at least a little bit of us that is, sort of a skeptic, if you will. And that's okay. Never be, afraid to be a skeptic. A skeptic is just someone who's going to get into decisions more carefully. Now, another huge talking point that we hear all the time is about a new index crediting method. So the way you earn interest, and which also really applies to how this protected income value works, can be tied to how you actually earn interest. And one of the things that's been added to some of these new breed Allianz fixed index annuities is an index crediting method based on the Barclays U.S. Dynamic Balance Index. And a lot of the folks who are selling this annuity will tell you this is the greatest index since sliced bread and power steering. It's a pretty solid concept, but one of the things that's really, really important that people understand is it's just a concept. If you go to the actual Barclays website, so to find this, just type in U.S. Dynamic Balance Index. You'll find the Barclays site. You'll be able to find this very page we're looking at here. And you'll see there's a section up here in the top right that goes on to say, hey, this index didn't actually become a real index until October 14, 2013. So if an agent tells you, hey, this index has been around since 1989, which is about 25 years, and over that 25 years, it's returned, whatever percent they claim, 7% or 6% or 8%. That's not a true statement. Someone who tells you that is not being honest and forthcoming. I personally would not want to get financial advice from someone who's not honest. The honest statement would be, hey, an index is a simple concept. All an index is it's a set of rules that automatically makes decisions. An easy way to think about this is a common index like the S&P 500. It just has two rules. So the S&P 500 are the 500 largest companies in the United States of America. And then they're weighted, so the way that they're weighted, it's not like 500 and they all represent 0.2%. They're actually weighted by size, so the biggest companies make up the largest percentage. It's just two simple rules. That's how the S&P 500 was created. So the U.S. Dynamic Balance Index, it's going to have a set of rules. So the reason why they're able to go back and say, hey, this is how it would have done going back to 1989 is because they're taking that set of rules by which the index was built and just back testing it. They're going back in time and saying, hey, this is what would have happened over the 25 years. But in reality, it's only been around, as of today, about 8 months or so. So it doesn't really have a long proven history. In fact, if we look at like the last 6 months of returns, this is all live. It goes back to November of last year, and we can customize this and go back to its real inception. So if we go back, for example, and we hit custom, and we scroll back to October, and we want to say, well, what's this done since it's been a real live actual index? We'll go to October. Oh, excuse me, I took this to 2012. We're going to go to October 2013. Pardon me. So we're going to go to October 14, 2013 through today, hit OK, and we can see here's the actual live index data. It's had a total return of 4.44%. If If you were to have kept that up for a full 12 months, it would equal 8.66. So again, nothing bad, nothing to be ashamed of.
Let's pause here for a second. Folks, did he actually just say 1 year return would have been 8.66%? Excuse me, but the ninja would like to see an alternative plan that with absolutely no risk as well as no fee that could have returned 8.66% in that same period. The competition in reality would have been a 1 year CD, a treasury bill, or possibly a high-grade corporate, all at about 0.5% to 1%. So we're already beginning to get a skewed interpretation of what this policy can do. So let's get back to it.
A good, solid, real live return, pardon me, but it's not a 25-year return. So in any event, that's not really why I'm pointing this out. One of the reasons I took everyone to this site and wanted to show this is because one of the things we have to do is look at, because so much of the 222 annuity is going to be based on your index crediting. And we look at the different index crediting options, the one that gives the highest return potential is this U.S. Dynamic Balance Index. And the way that it works is it's a annual point to point. So if you started on May 1st of 2014, we'll look at what the return is next year, 365 days later. And then the return is going to be what the index went up by minus what's called a spread. A spread is, in my view, kind of just another term for a fee, though.
Wait. Now we've moved into a lie. Okay, folks, a fee and a spread are as different as sushi and cheeseburgers. A fee is what the Gator charges for money management and being a registered investment advisor. A spread can only come from gains. Okay, so a fee is a charge that comes out of your account, be it every quarter or yearly. This is what goes to the broker, the investment advisor, and the firm. A spread can only come from gains credited. Yes, closer to the way it should be. So just think back to 2001, 2002, or 2008, 2009. Your advisor or broker all got paid while you were devastated. A spread would not have cost you a penny, and your account value would not have dropped by a penny either. Yes, the ninja liked that year. Which would you prefer?